political landscape that we have today is filled with a bunch of dreamers on one side and a bunch of tired people on the others. You can call conservatives evil and Nazis all you want, but look up the word conservative. Conservative preserves what was gained. Doesn't want to lose what we already have. That's my definition of conservative. I am what would be considered a political conservative now, even though I have some very liberal attitudes back in the 80s and 70s. A conservative wants to keep the Civil Rights Act, which gives us all a greater voice, where it is founded on federal law that you cannot be discriminated against because of the color of your skin or the opinion that you have, good or bad. Under our current system, the way it is in federal law, and this is a very key point, federal law, a measure of a man is no longer 3/4 if you happen to be the wrong skin tone. It's 1-to-1. You're presumed innocent in a court of law for a reason. Back when it was written, railroading somebody because you didn't like them, if you were rich enough, you can get somebody thrown in jail under English law back in the day. Our system's based on English law with that little correction that it doesn't matter how rich you are. You bring an accusation to court, the person you're accusing is presumed innocent of it until proven guilty. If we lose that, we are no longer Americans. We're just as bad as the rest of Europe and modern Britain still, because they are not innocent in any of this shit. You wonder why there was a patriarchy? You wonder why there was a slavery system? That was all under the British commerce system of the 16th, 17th, and 18th century. They were not innocent in this shit. They brought slavery back as an economic marker. They're the ones that said human beings in the modern world are commodities.
Commodities.
No better than the pork bellies you buy and sell on the stock markets, which we still do today. Because animals are considered commodities on the market.
Commodities.
That is hubris, arrogance, and a lack of compassion that is unknown, except to the Nazi parties, which we spent a good number of years fighting. Think long and hard, folks, long and hard, on everything that has to do with modern politics. Don't just vote for somebody because they're a gender. In our courts, in our politics, gender shouldn't matter. The idea is you get what you vote for.
Get what you vote for.
You want true political change? You don't vote for the guys that are in office. You vote for the little guy who has no fucking money. That he's just a name on a piece of paper. Not affiliated with anybody else. Because at the voting booth, it's all equal.
Used to be.
But now it's, you gotta vote this line. You gotta be red or blue. Why? Tell me why my political viewpoints need to match up with my political party affiliation at all times. I don't fucking think so. I'm an individual American citizen. See, there's the individualism.
Oh, geez, individualism. That's bad.
It's called personal political responsibility. There are movements in political parties here in the States, and sadly, largely from the Democrat state sections, that don't want you thinking. They don't want you ever to think. They just want you to vote as a block. When you hear the term voting block, get your ears up. Get alert. Because that means they don't think of you as an individual. That your individual vote doesn't matter. And that's where the danger lies. That's how real brown shirts get back in power. Because they learned. They learned. They send out the young and impressionable to do the fighting. They do the screaming, the yelling, the punch Nazis. Really? Define it.
I punch Nazis.
You punch somebody with a different viewpoint. That is a Nazi.
Well, that's what the Nazis did.
Anybody who disagreed with them on any point got punched in the face, beaten down, as an example to the rest of the people watching. And there were a lot of people watching, that you cannot stop them. It's a means of creating fear. And any party system that promotes that needs to be opposed at all costs. Because all it will lead to is dead and a destroyed civilization. Talk to Europe. That's all I got to say on the matter, folks. Our political landscape is fractured as it ever has been. Why? Because you're playing into certain people's hands.
Certain people's hands.
Divide and conquer. Old Roman ideal, old Egyptian ideal from ancient times. If you got a political bloc you want to stop or you want to replace with your own, you divide it up, make it fight itself, point the finger, tear down what works. It may not be fair, but you tear it down anyway. It may have been the only thing that could put food on your table, but you tear it down anyway, because your system, your beliefs are going to be better. Yeah, sure. World's full of bright ideas that have set us back. Another good example of that, the invention of the atomic bomb. The only thing it's good for was it gives us all that moment of pause is it worth it when going to war with the United States? That's what kept the peace relatively. The willingness of the United States to drop the hammer as viciously as possible. And that's another key word, viciously. You have to be as brutal as humanly possible in a war on a political stage.
And do you think the millennials even get all this?
I really hope so.
Well, yeah, but they're the ones waving the signs and they want to hit people.
Because they've been misled.
And remember, Trump won, they lost. Why are we still doing it 2 years later?
Yeah, because people haven't grown up that, you know, if your side losses, you lick your wounds, you learn from what was done. And all this bullshit about, but she won the popular vote. No, she didn't. Our popular vote system is on a per state basis.
Not the entire country, folks. As a whole.
As a per state basis means the little states have as much voice as the big states. The cities don't tell the rural communities my way or the highway. That's equality in our true democracy, republic, representational government.
But it's been fixed. The Russians fixed it.
You can't fix our antiquated voting booths.
There you go.
Because you got a hand count to verify.
I remember using a little pencil.
Yeah, everything's
Did the
hand
punching
counted.
machine.
The movement towards digital sounds good, but it can all be hacked, and digital numbers can be changed.
Of course it can.
Paper, you're spending time, money, and people to verify.
It's called physically counting votes.
Yep.
Huh.